Welcome back everybody to the farm. We're on Glen Isla Extended, and I've actually decided to pick up where we were sort of cutting off on the last video with our dudes plowing out this farm. If you see those patches again, that is because of the miscalculated distance at which the actual implement is hitting the ground. Not sure what to make of that. It's just fine-tuning. And so one of our first orders of business will be to take care of that. In the meantime, what I'm going to do is go over to the ST Max, which we can now stop the driver. We'll clear this course. Let's take down the course plate. We'll fold them up. Lots of fertilizer and seed still on. Those little edges, you know what, I'm not going to sweat that. We'll just drop this down, just clean up this one last little patch here that he missed. Whoops, still in the air for some reason. If you have a wheel, what is going on here? I said go down. Didn't want to answer the first time. Anyways, if you do have a wheel, and you want finer control, there's another little piece there. Darn it all anyway. Increase your steering wheel sensitivity to. I got mine set at 175%, and that works perfectly for me. Now, depending on exactly your settings within the like if you have a Logitech wheel like I do, I'm gonna set him to start here so that transition doesn't happen right in that corner. And if I say we start from here and I bring up the course play, now we've plowed, but we do need to put in oilseed radish. Oh, I need to stop him. Okay, oilseed radish, and this will be field 26 that I called it, and the user, now it doesn't show up on the map, but that's what this is, field 26 user. So you kind of got to remember your field numbers. You're going to need to write them down. It's not going to put it into your PDF up top here, or whatever you want to call it. Anyways, we're going to do a headland, and we're going to do, let's do 3 passes. It's a huge field, counterclockwise. We'll set it for smooth. Let's go for smooth. 9 meters looks correct. Current vehicle position. Let's generate that course. There's our course. So unless you want to break out your magic marker and write on your monitor field 26 up there, you're going to have to write it down in your notepad or something. Okay, so let's go back. We are going counterclockwise on that little bug there. Check our field speed, which we want wide open. We'll set the turn speeds for in around 18 should be fine. We'll pick that up a little bit. It's going to be pretty wide open, and I'm going to give this another notch because I think it's only going to do 24 for whatever reason. We're going to start at the first waypoint. We're set for a spreader, and let's start that driver, putting the oilseed radish down. Now it's set for 10 for some reason. Oh no, there it goes up to 25, but you'll only go to 24. And we're smoothing. That's okay. It's a nice big wide open field. Whatever we put in here, we should be making some pretty darn good money. Now, first thing I need to do is get out of this, and let's just go like this, get into that thing. We're going to stop this driver, clear this course. Actually, I should save this course. My bad, I almost didn't. Okay, so this is field 26 plow. Okay, so we've saved it. I'll close it, and I gotta hurry up and plow these 2 edges before the seeder gets near them, otherwise I'm going to be plowing in the seed. So we're right on it. So the last episode, that's what happens when I don't put my timer on. You know, so much is happening and you want to get a bunch done and you get caught midstream in doing all of this, and yeah, 36 minutes, 42 gigabytes for upload. So this time I definitely have my timer set. I'm trying to keep them for about 20 to 22, 23 minutes. People just don't have a 36-minute attention span unless it's watching something like, you know, some kind of ridiculous television drama. You know, I don't know. I don't get it. Dancing with the Stars. Maybe not that one, but I think most people get the gist of what I'm talking about. I have very little time for modern television. It's pretty much vacant of any kind of real soul or any real meaning, or quite frankly, I don't know. It's bubblegum for the weak-minded. Sorry if anybody finds that offensive, but that's just my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Now I'm going to take field creation off before I even fold the plow, as I've created that habit for myself, having messed up and basically ruined what was a perfect job many a time in the several years that I've been playing this game. I've been playing since 13 and messing with files since 13. It was an arduous process of failure. By the time I hit 15, I was pretty good at it. By 17, I was kind of refining. 19 is just throwing me right off because they keep moving the goalposts. So, anyhow, we're going to plant this plow down for now. Or, I'm not sure what I was thinking. Let's create a second field. We were talking about at least 2 fields over here to make some serious cash. So let's do that. We'll start this. We'll do what we did in the last episode. If you didn't catch the last episode, as to alleviate a lot of work in creating fields, this time I think we're going to go counter, or actually go clockwise, but I think I want to trace the field from where we were up there. And again, we're not worried about room. You know, we got lots of room. So I'll give myself a nice wide berth on this field, or at least as wide as I can, while still being able to trace this edge to make it look somewhat reasonable. We're going to call this field field 27. Now, I'm going to start in a little bit. Give ourselves a nice wide berth. There's no way anybody's jumping fields on us as an AI. Okay, lower the plow, field, or wide to create fields. If you didn't catch the last episode, I utilized the course play. All I had to do was drive a big circle and then bring up the course play and analyze the field, or calculate the field edge and give it a name and a number, which it allowed me to do, which was beyond the listed stock field numbers that come with the game. So if you didn't see that last episode, you need to go back and watch that, although I'm going to do it again here. Kind of hard. I'm looking for some kind of line on the ground. It's kind of, you can sort of see something there that'll maybe give you some judge of what is a straight line. That's where GPS came in. Yeah, that was just a beautiful thing. You could just calculate a straight line. The new GPS they have for 19 here, if that's the first GPS you've experienced, sorry about your luck. The one in 17 was awesome and really well thought out and user friendly and looked good. The UI was awesome. I don't know how far down into this dip I want to go. I think that's about as far as I want to go, just for this field, because I'm trying to keep it up on the straight here. I don't want, you know, 80,000 liter harvesters getting stuck for lack of horsepower. Bring it around. I need to go way up in the air here to kind of give a bird's eye view here as best I can as to... So now you can sort of see the lines. When you're this high in the air, you can see the lines to follow. Can you see them? I can see them. No problem. That is definitely a bit of a climb I'm working on. I don't want to make that any worse than I have to, so I'm going to slowly start turning this field in. If a guy was into forestry, I mean, you could just lay just a ton of trees in there, some road work. I mean, you could make a fantastic map out of this. You know, putting the roads in and some old shacks and placeables and the mill. And, I mean, you could drop a creek in there. You know, it really could be an adventure, this map. I mean, the sky's the possibility. What do you want to do? You know, paint in some roads and drop just a ton of trees in there, fully grown for if you want to do forestry. I'm going to try and smooth this as best I can, because it is going to be a smoothing turn. I'm going to try not to turn. Okay, now I'm going to bring up the course play. If you didn't see the last episode, this is how I did it. You come into as if you're going to drive a course. I have to clear the previous course first, sorry. Calculate current, as you go to as if you're going to bring up a course, go calculate current field's edge path. And now we have to give it a number. And it will allow you to exceed the number of actual listed fields in the map. The one to my left is 25. Or sorry, it's 26, and this is 27. Add field 27's edge path to the path list. See that? And you have to click on it. There it is. We have the field created. So now if I go into the course plot and I go to 27 user, we're going to do a headland. So we're going to do 2 passes. We're going clockwise this time. We're going to smooth. That is the correct work width. And we're going to generate that course. There it is. But remember, you have to remember, they don't show up on the map here. You're going to have to remember which field is which. So that's 26, and that's 27. If I was smart, well, I couldn't call it field 12 because there is one. I would have called this 12 and 11 and 10, 9, whatever, right? But that is not available for me to do. Okay, so we've calculated that. We'll go back. We'll double check. See, now this wants to go default to the other way. It defaults to the way that you're opposite of the way you want to go. Just go figure. That's unusual. Okay, we're going to check our field speeds, which should be wide open. Yes, they are. We're going to go here. We're going to generate, actually, so I don't have to duplicate this first path. Sorry if I'm repeating myself from the last episode. I'm doing it for the benefit of those who haven't seen it. Although I should punish you for not watching the last episode. Okay, so we're going to bring up the overheads through this so I can see why does it suggest if I'm going clockwise, is this showing a counterclockwise plot? That's interesting. I'm going back here and I'm going to set this for counterclockwise. For whatever reason, it only wants to go counterclockwise for me now. Interesting. And generate the course. Go back. Yeah, see? So we'll set this to counterclockwise as well. And I have to lift my implement before I do this. I'm glad I thought of that because I have to do a U-turn here. And pick up at the end of the first headland so you can transition to the second one. That way I don't have to do this over again. Capiche? Okay, so we're going to start from the nearest waypoint, about like so. I'll put my plow down, come back, start from the nearest waypoint and drive the course. You should just start right now into the second headlands, and look at that. I don't have to plow that field out manually. I'm going to save that before I forget to save that. So this is field 27. Did I spell that right? Yes. Plow. Oh, I didn't leave a space in there. Whoopsie. Come on. Yes, I can see. I have to turn sideways to look at my keyboard here. Field 27 plow. And save. Clear that. And you can see what's going on here. And he's going to basically do this, all this entire greenery and plow it all out for me under course play, and I do not have to do it manually. That's another beauty of the course play. AI obviously couldn't do this because there's no field in the map per se. Okay, so I'm just actually going to take the overheads down because I don't think we need to worry about those anymore. Course play has become pretty reliable for that. And no, that stop is at the end of the up-downs. We're just going to sail right through that. Give me a second here. I need to take a look at something here. But it's a beautiful thing. What do you think? Well, she's a pretty girl. I'd work a farm with her. How about you? Here, we'll sit in her lap. What do you think? Actually, that's my wife. I shouldn't make fun of her. I obviously haven't had a chance to check out how the light balance mod works, and what that's supposed to be is something that allows me to control the lights even though there's a worker in there. Like, I would love to have my hazards on. I brought up F1. It is activated, but I don't know how to do it. It's not in F1. At least I don't see it. Do you see it? Speak up. Okay, because I just went back to back on the episodes. I promise between this episode and the next one, I'm actually going to figure out exactly how to do that. That's a good looking machine. I love looking at the working mechanics of it. Some of them have the rotating axles you can actually see. Okay, so now he's going to transition into the up-down. I'll bring up the map so you can see it. There he is. He's going to do a U-turn right about here, and he's going to start down this lane here now. Oops. I'm going to bring that down with it. So this is the narrow lane because of the math. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Tell you what, I won't repeat any more of it. If you don't know what's happening and you think that's wrong, go back and watch the last episode. So what do you think of the graphics? You know, I think, oh, by far there's other machines out there can do a lot better job. I get it. But 2K compressed down to 1440 makes for a pretty different and better picture than most on YouTube as far as the gaming community goes. Oh, there's a bunch of guys that, oh, we'll do a 4K flyover. Nah, most of them don't render at 4K. Sorry. And well, it's not a competition. I shouldn't say it from that point of view, but I just, there's a lot of people that say they're doing something at 4K, but they're not. And a very weak 4K, if it even is 4K. As a matter of fact, you don't get 4K out of it on YouTube, which tells you they are making the mistake of thinking, oh, I've overclocked my monitor, I'm getting 4K, and they're putting it up on their game. If you really want to know how to get the true resolution in your recordings and why they're not going up on YouTube at that resolution, you need to watch how to see 1440 on a 1080p screen in my channel. It's not that far back. Go looking for the red looking thumbnail with the green tractor sitting in a reddish looking barn. How to see 1440. Watch that closely and you'll find out exactly what you're doing wrong, and no, you're not even rendering it on your screen at 1440 or 4K, let alone recording it at that. And that's why you're probably having conniptions as to what's going wrong. Why is it not working? Watch that video. It'll tell you where you went wrong. You can do it if you've got the graphic strength to do it. But yeah, watch that video. You'll figure it out. If you are watching some of my videos for the first time and you want to know if you have how to watch 1440, which is I'm uploading at 2K, and YouTube renders it down to 1440, and I don't compress the file before I upload it. Now people say, oh well, they're going to do it to 1440 anyways. Why don't you just render it down to or compress it to 1440? You might as well compress it. Well, because when you compress it, you don't just take down the resolution. It actually compresses the frame rate and everything else. And then YouTube does it again. So you're better off to, if you've got the internet connection, to upload 40 gigabyte files, regularly. You're better off to not render it unless YouTube compress it once. And you get a better picture for it. But you got to have the internet connection and no limits on your data plan either. It get real expensive in a hurry otherwise. Anyways, yeah. Anyways, I've kind of rambled on about that. We've created the second field going on right now. And when we come back in the next episode, he will be finished this time for sure. I'm just going to let him finish this field all together. I'm going to let the seeder finish. We will then put the seeder to work in this field, and we've got a couple other fields to worry about, and I believe by that time we need to feed the horses, and we may even have a crop of onions or carrots, I believe it is, to pull off, so we'll have to buy a machine for that. So with that, I'm going to say, if you enjoyed the video, you learned anything, you like listening to the banter, maybe you just enjoy the graphics, give me a thumbs up on your way out. It really helps the channel grow, whether you subscribe or not. And if you want to subscribe to help me out, it'll only help me grow faster. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you again on the next one. Bye for now.